Alex Hayes stood at the viewport of the UESF flagship Defiance, watching Earth grow smaller as they patrolled the outer reaches of the solar system. At 42, Alex had spent half his life in space, yet the sight of his home planet never failed to move him. The blue marble represented everything humanity had fought to protect and preserve over the centuries. "Commander, we're picking up something unusual," Lieutenant Sam Kelly called from the sensor station. "Multiple objects approaching from beyond Neptune's orbit. They're big, sir. Really big." Alex turned away from the viewport. "How big are we talking?" "Largest one is approximately 3 kilometers in length. We're counting 7 vessels total." Alex felt a chill run down his spine. Humanity had yet to build anything close to that size. Battle stations, all personnel to combat readiness. The Defiance hummed as crew members rushed to their posts. Alex had drilled them relentlessly for first contact scenarios, but he never truly believed it would happen during his command. "They're accelerating, sir," Sam reported. "At current speed, they'll reach Earth orbit in less than 6 hours. Open a channel to Earth Command. Priority Alpha." Within moments, General Rivera's face appeared on the main screen. "Hayes, tell me you're seeing what our sensors are picking up." "Confirmed, General. 7 vessels of unknown origin were maintaining position but awaiting orders. Return to Earth immediately. All available UESF ships are being recalled. We don't know their intentions, but we're not taking chances." The alien vessels moved with impossible precision, decelerating as they approached Earth. By the time the Defiance reached orbital defense position, the massive ships had already arranged themselves in a perfect formation above the planet. Earth's major cities activated emergency protocols. In the United Earth Government headquarters in Geneva, officials gathered in the crisis center as screens displayed the alien vessels. Dr. Olivia Martinez hurried through the crowded hallways. At 35, she was the youngest person ever to head the Xenobiological Research Division, though until today her work had been purely theoretical. "Dr. Martinez, they're requesting communication," said President Clark as Olivia entered the room. "You're our expert on potential extraterrestrial contact." "We know nothing about them, Mr. President. We should proceed with extreme caution." The largest alien vessel suddenly projected an image that appeared simultaneously on communication systems worldwide. A tall, slender being with iridescent blue skin and 4 arms stood before an ornate backdrop. Its eyes, 3 of them, blinked vertically. "People of Earth," it spoke in perfect English. "I am Ambassador Zell Thorin of the Arcturian species, representing the Galactic Council. Your world has been monitored since your primitive nuclear age. Your recent expansion beyond your planet has brought you to our attention." President Clark stepped forward. "I am President Clark of the United Earth Government. We welcome peaceful contact with other civilizations." The alien's mouth formed what might have been a smile, though it looked more like a grimace. "Peace is precisely what the Council ensures throughout this sector. However, your species has unknowingly violated Council territory by expanding beyond your inner planet. This violation must be addressed." Olivia felt her heart sink as the ambassador continued. "Earth has been classified as a Level 2 primitive species, requiring supervision and guidance. The Council demands immediate cessation of all space activities beyond your lunar orbit. All advanced technology must be surrendered for evaluation. The Council will establish a permanent outpost on your moon to oversee your transition into proper Council membership." President Clark's face hardened. "Ambassador, while we respect your presence, Earth is a sovereign world. We cannot simply surrender our independence or technological achievements." "You misunderstand," Zell Thorin replied coldly. "This is not a negotiation. You have 30 Earth days to comply with these directives. Resistance would be unfortunate." The transmission ended abruptly. In the stunned silence that followed, General Rivera turned to the President. "Sir, I recommend immediate military readiness. If these aliens think we'll roll over without a fight..." "We need more information before we consider military action," Olivia interrupted. "Their technology is clearly superior. We need to understand what we're dealing with." President Clark nodded. "Dr. Martinez, assemble a diplomatic team. General, Put our forces on alert, but take no aggressive action. Commander Hayes, your ship. We'll escort Dr. Martinez to meet with these council representatives. Back on the Defiance, Alex briefed his crew on their new mission. I don't like this, Commander, said Major Jack Reynolds, head of the ship's Marine detachment. Sounds like fancy words for surrender. We're just gathering information, Major, Alex replied, though he shared the concern. Lieutenant Sam Kelly approached with a data pad. Sir, I've been analyzing their transmission. There's something embedded in the signal, encrypted communications between their ships. Can you decode it? Sam nodded. Working on it now, but preliminary analysis suggests they're discussing something called resource extraction protocols. Alex felt his stomach tighten. Keep working on it. Priority 1. Days later, Captain Grace Williams of UESF Intelligence arrived on the Defiance with troubling news. We've accessed historical records from our deep space probes, she explained to Alex and Olivia in the ship's secure briefing room. 3 star systems we surveyed 10 years ago showed evidence of civilization. When we checked recent data, 2 of those worlds show massive strip mining, and the third appears completely abandoned. Olivia studied the images. They're harvesting resources from less advanced worlds. That's my assessment, Grace confirmed. The Council's pattern seems to be classification of species, followed by resource appropriation under the guise of supervision. Alex looked out at the alien fleet. So this talk of supervision is just a pretext. They want our resources. And they expect us to hand everything over without resistance, Jack added. Olivia shook her head. We need to stall them. I'll use the diplomatic mission to gather more intelligence while Earth prepares. As the 30-day deadline approached, Earth's leaders met in emergency session. The Council ships remained in orbit, a constant reminder of the threat they posed. President Clark addressed the assembled representatives. The evidence is clear. The Galactic Council has stripped resources from multiple worlds. We now face a choice: compliance or resistance. Major Jack Reynolds, invited to represent the military perspective, spoke firmly. Throughout human history, we've faced overwhelming odds and prevailed through ingenuity and determination. The Council has likely never faced a species that fought back. They expect compliance because that's what they've always received. After hours of debate, the vote was unanimous. Earth would not surrender. As Olivia prepared for her final diplomatic mission, now a mission of distraction, Sam Kelly approached her with the fully decoded alien transmissions. Dr. Martinez, you need to see this. They're not planning to supervise us. Once we surrender our technology, they intend to relocate most of humanity to labor colonies. Olivia's resolve hardened. They have no idea who they're dealing with. On the bridge of the Defiance, Alex Hayes watched the alien vessels with new determination. The Council had made a critical error in their assessment of humanity. They hadn't expected resistance. They hadn't expected humans to fight back. But fight back they would. Dr. Olivia Martinez adjusted her uniform as the shuttle approached the massive Council flagship. She had been chosen to lead Earth's diplomatic team, a mission that had transformed from genuine negotiation to calculated deception. Their true purpose now was to buy time while Earth prepared its defenses. Remember, Olivia told her team of 5 diplomats, we need to appear cooperative while learning everything we can about their weaknesses. The shuttle docked with a soft thud. When the airlock opened, they were greeted by 4 armed Arcturian guards who towered over the human delegation. Ambassador Zell Thorin waited in a grand chamber decorated with what appeared to be trophies from various worlds. His 3 eyes blinked in sequence as he observed the humans. Dr. Martinez, I trust you bring news of Earth's compliance with our directives? Olivia maintained a neutral expression. Ambassador, we appreciate the Council's interest in Earth. Our leaders are carefully considering your terms, but require clarification on several points. Our civilization has complex systems that cannot be dismantled hastily. Zell Thorin's skin rippled with blue patterns that Olivia guessed indicated irritation. Your species' reluctance is noted in Council records. Perhaps a tour of our vessel will help you understand the futility of anything but full compliance. As they walked through the ship, Olivia cataloged everything: weapon emplacements, crew compositions, technology interfaces. She noted with interest how different species operated in strict hierarchies, with the blue-skinned Arcturians clearly at the top. A smaller alien with pale green skin and large, expressive eyes approached their group. "Ambassador, the Council. Chamber is prepared for the scheduled transmission." "Very well, Kernox. You may escort our guests to the observation deck while I attend to Council matters." Once Zelthorin departed, the green-skinned alien named Kernox moved closer to Olivia. "You are the first humans I have met," he said in a softer voice. "My species, the Tellurians, were incorporated into the Council 300 years ago." "Incorporated?" Olivia asked carefully. "Was that a voluntary process?" Kernox's large eyes darted around before he responded. "Meet me in Section 12, Maintenance Corridor B in 1 hour. Come alone." Back on Earth, Lieutenant Sam Kelly led a covert operation that would have been unthinkable just weeks ago. The UESF had captured a small Council scout ship that had ventured too close to the asteroid belt. Now, Sam and a team of elite soldiers were using the captured vessel to approach a Council communication hub stationed near Jupiter. "Stealth systems active," whispered Corporal Rodriguez as their stolen ship approached the hub. "They're hailing us." Sam activated the automated response system they had decoded. The hub accepted their approach codes without question. "Council ships really don't expect anyone to steal their technology," Sam noted with grim satisfaction. "They've grown complacent." Once docked, the team moved swiftly through the hub. Their mission: download the Council's tactical database and plant devices that would allow Earth to monitor Council communications. Meanwhile, at the UESF Research Center in Nevada, engineer Paul Winters worked frantically to understand the technology salvaged from smaller Council craft. A brilliant but socially awkward man, Paul had made a breakthrough that could change the course of the coming conflict. "General Rivera, you need to see this," Paul said, pointing to his screen as the general entered his lab. "I've analyzed their shield technology. It operates on a frequency rotation that makes it nearly impenetrable. Nearly, but not completely." "Explain it simply, Winters." "Their shields have a pattern, a predictable one. If we time our weapons to hit at precisely the right microsecond of their rotation cycle, we can penetrate them." General Rivera's eyes widened. "Can we replicate this across our fleet?" "Give me 48 hours. On the Council flagship, Olivia slipped away from her team and made her way to the designated meeting point. Kernox was waiting, nervousness evident in his posture. "What I am doing could mean my execution," he whispered. "But you need to know the truth. My homeworld was once like yours, independent, developing. The Council came with the same promises they offer you. What happened? They stripped our world of resources. Millions of my people now work in mining colonies across the galaxy. Those who resisted were eliminated." Olivia felt a chill. "Why are you telling me this?" "Because in 300 years no species has seriously fought back. The Council is powerful but inflexible. Their military doctrine hasn't evolved because it hasn't needed to." Kernox handed her a small data device. "This contains information about Council shield harmonics and communication protocols. Your species is resourceful. Perhaps you can succeed where others failed." In orbit around Mars, Admiral Vexidor of the Council Defense Force grew increasingly suspicious of human activities. Unlike Ambassador Zelthorin, who viewed humans as simply another primitive species to subjugate, Vexidor sensed danger. "These humans are not behaving as expected," he told his second-in-command. "Their ships are moving in patterns consistent with battle preparation, not surrender. They are merely a Level 2 species, Admiral. Their technology is centuries behind ours. Nevertheless, I am accelerating our timeline. Prepare the fleet for the first phase of resource acquisition. We will seize their Mars colony tomorrow." The attack came without warning. Council warships descended on the Mars colony, weapons blazing. Governor Michelle Davis had only minutes to order evacuations before the first buildings collapsed under the barrage. This is Governor Davis to all UESF vessels. We are under attack. Civilians are evacuating in emergency shuttles. We need immediate assistance. Commander Alex Hayes and the Defiance were the closest UESF ship to Mars. All hands to battle stations, Alex ordered. We're going in. Sir, his tactical officer warned. Sensors show 5 Council warships. We're outgunned. Maybe so, but those are our people down there. Helm, set course for Mars. Maximum speed. Weapons, prepare all systems. The Defiance arrived to find the Mars colony in flames. Civilian evacuation ships struggled to escape as Council vessels fired upon them. Target the nearest Council ship, Alex commanded. Focus fire on their engines. Let's give those evacuees a chance. The Defiance opened fire, its conventional weapons, mostly absorbed by the Council ship's shields. But the distraction worked. Several civilian ships managed to break away toward Earth. Sir, we've got their attention now, Sam Kelly reported as the Council vessels turned toward the Defiance. Good. That's the plan. Evasive maneuvers, pattern Delta. Let's show them humans know how to fight. For the next 3 hours, the Defiance conducted a desperate holding action, darting between larger Council ships, drawing fire away from the evacuation ships. They managed to damage 1 Council vessel before taking heavy damage themselves. When the battle ended, Mars colony lay in ruins. But thanks to the Defiance's intervention, nearly 70% of the colonists had escaped. As the damaged Defiance limped back toward Earth, news of the unprovoked attack spread rapidly. The United Earth government convened an emergency session. President Clark's address was broadcast worldwide. Today, the Galactic Council has shown its true intentions through an unprovoked attack on our Mars colony. They expected us to surrender, without resistance. They were wrong. As of this moment, Earth is at war with the Galactic Council. We will not surrender. We will not submit. We will fight back. On the Council flagship, Ambassador Zelthorin received news of Earth's declaration with amusement. They declare war against the Galactic Council? How quaint. He turned to Admiral Vexdor. Prepare a full invasion fleet. It seems these humans require a demonstration of our power. But Admiral Vexdor wasn't smiling. Something about the humans' resistance troubled him deeply. While the other Council officials laughed at the primitive species' defiance, Vexdor wondered if the Council had finally met an opponent who might surprise them. 2 weeks after the attack on Mars, the UESF fleet gathered in the shadow of Jupiter. Commander Alex Hayes stood on the bridge of the newly repaired Defiance, watching as 30 Earth ships moved into formation. It wasn't a large force compared to the Council's armada, but they had something the aliens didn't expect. A plan based on the Council's own technology. All ships report ready, Commander, Sam Kelly announced from the tactical station. Operation Thunderbolt is go. Alex nodded. Send the signal. All ships to jump points. Remember, timing is everything. The Earth fleet split into 5 groups and vanished into the darkness of space. Their target, a Council staging area near Saturn where a fleet of warships prepared for the invasion of Earth. Admiral Vexdor stood on his command deck, reviewing invasion plans. Unlike his colleagues, he had increased security protocols and ordered constant scanner sweeps. Something about these humans bothered him. Admiral, his second-in-command reported. Scanners show small energy spikes in Sector 7. Investigate immediately. Before his order could be carried out, alarms blared across the ship. Human vessels appeared from multiple directions, closing on the Council fleet with impossible speed. Impossible, Vexdor muttered. They couldn't know we were here. The Defiance led the attack, targeting the Council's command ship Eternal Dominion. As they approached, Paul Winter's modified weapons came online. Target their shields, Alex ordered. Fire on my mark, now. The new missiles struck the Council ship at precisely calculated moments, slipping through tiny gaps in their shield rotation cycle. Explosions blossomed across the massive vessel. Direct hit, Sam shouted. Their shields are fluctuating. Across the battlefield. Earthships executed the same tactic, causing confusion among the Council forces who had never seen their shields penetrated so easily. How is this possible? Vexdor demanded as systems failed across his ship. They're primitives. Second wave, launch now, Alex commanded. The UESF ships fired again, this time targeting engines and weapon systems. Within 20 minutes, the Council fleet was in disarray. The Eternal Dominion drifted powerless, its main systems offline. Boarding teams move in, Alex ordered. Lieutenant Kelly, you know what to do. Sam led a team of soldiers in sealed space armor toward the disabled flagship. Their mission, capture the Council's military database and any intelligence they could find. As they cut through the hull, Sam spoke to his team. Remember, we've trained for this. Stay together, achieve objectives, and get out. Inside the alien vessel, they encountered sporadic resistance. The Council soldiers, used to overwhelming force rather than defensive actions, were unprepared for the determined human assault team. Sam reached the central data core and began the download process. 5 minutes until complete. Keep them off. Meanwhile, Admiral Vexdor escaped to a small command shuttle. He watched in disbelief as the humans systematically disabled his fleet. This cannot be happening, he said as his shuttle raced away from the battle. The Council must know. Back on Earth, Dr. Olivia Martinez worked on a different front. Using information from Kirnox, she had established contact with representatives from other species subjugated by the Council. In a secure underground facility, Olivia met with aliens from 5 different worlds. Some appeared nearly human. Others were dramatically different, but all shared one thing: resentment of Council rule. For too long we have suffered under Council dominion, Olivia told them. Separately, we cannot win. Together we might have a chance. A tall, gray-skinned being named Drav spoke. My people were among the first conquered by the Council. We have tried resistance before, but never with allies, Olivia countered. Never with coordinated action across multiple systems. Kirnox nodded. The humans have already shown it's possible to fight back. Their attack on Admiral Vexador's fleet proves the Council is not invincible. The representatives looked at each other. Finally, Drav nodded. We will join your Liberation Alliance. My people will begin sabotaging Council supply lines in the Rigel sector. Others quickly agreed. For the first time in centuries, hope spread among the subjugated species. On the Council homeworld, news of the human victory caused political turmoil. The Council chamber erupted in angry debate. How could primitives defeat our superior force? Demanded one Council member. Supreme Councilor Drextivar, an ancient Arcturian with dark blue skin, silenced the chamber with a gesture. This minor setback changes nothing. The humans simply caught us unprepared. We will crush them with overwhelming force. But not all agreed. Overseer Mazvalan, leader of the progressive faction, stood. Perhaps we should reconsider our approach. These humans have shown remarkable adaptability. They might make better allies than subjects. Weakness, Drexitivar shouted. Would you have us negotiate with primitives? The Council has ruled this sector for 10,000 years through strength, not compromise. The debate raged for days as reports of sabotage and resistance filtered in from across Council space. The iron grip of the Council began to loosen, while politicians argued, the Council military prepared its response. A massive force gathered to establish a permanent base on Earth's moon, from which they would launch the final invasion of the planet. On Earth, Major Jack Reynolds coordinated planetary defenses. They're coming in force this time, he told the UA. Assembled military leaders. Our orbital defense grid is ready, but it won't be enough against their numbers. Captain Grace Williams stepped forward. Then we need to be smarter, not just stronger. The Council uses rigid, predictable tactics because they've never needed to adapt. We need to be unpredictable. She outlined a bold plan involving civilian. Engineer Ryan Cooper's new drone swarms. Thousands of small automated craft designed to confuse Council targeting systems. It's risky, General Rivera admitted. But it might work. The Council attack came 3 days later. Hundreds of ships appeared in Earth orbit and moved toward the moon. They expected minimal resistance. What they found instead was chaos. The orbital defense grid activated, but so did Cooper's drone swarms. Thousands of small craft surrounded. The Council ships, creating false targets and disrupting their formation. UESF ships attacked from unexpected vectors, using the tactics that had worked at Saturn. Council commanders, trained in conventional warfare, struggled to adapt to the constantly changing battlefield. The battle for Luna lasted 3 days. Earth forces suffered heavy losses, but the Council fleet eventually retreated, unable to establish their foothold. In the aftermath, Earth forces captured a damaged Council ship with its commander still aboard. Under questioning, the alien revealed disturbing news. "This defeat means nothing," the Council commander said defiantly. "The Supreme Counselor has authorized use of the cleansing protocol. Your atmosphere will be seeded with compounds that will eliminate your species while preserving resources." As this information reached Earth's leaders, Dr. Martinez received an urgent message from Knox. The message confirmed their worst fears. A biological weapon was being prepared that could wipe out humanity while leaving Earth's resources intact. The war had entered a new, desperate phase, but with each passing day, more of the Council's subjugated species joined the rebellion. What had begun as Earth's solitary stand against alien invaders was becoming a galactic revolution. News of human resistance spread across Council space like wildfire. Species that had lived under Council rule for centuries began to question authority. On countless worlds, the whispered question was the same. If humans can fight back, why can't we? The Council chamber on the Arcturian homeworld had never seen such division. Supreme Counselor Drextivar, his blue skin now dark with rage, pounded his fist on the ancient table. "These rebellions must be crushed immediately. The humans have inspired unrest on 12 worlds already." Overseer Maz Valen, leader of the Progressive Council faction, stood calmly. "Perhaps this unrest reveals a flaw in our approach. For millennia, we have dominated rather than cooperated. The humans have shown us another path." "Treasonous words," Drextivar hissed. "The Council has maintained galactic order through strength. I will not see 10,000 years of rule undermined by one primitive species." The debate raged for days. Meanwhile, the human-led rebellion grew stronger. On Earth, Dr. Olivia Martinez had transformed the old United Nations building into the headquarters of the Liberation Alliance. Representatives from 7 formerly subjugated species worked alongside humans, sharing technology and battle plans. Knox, now Earth's most important alien ally, examined the latest intelligence reports with Olivia. "The Council is fracturing from within," he said. "Your resistance has caused a political crisis." "Can Mazvalen's faction help us?" Olivia asked. "Possibly, but Drextivar controls the military, and he has authorized the planet-killer weapon." Olivia's face darkened. "How much time do we have?" "The weapon is being prepared. 2 weeks, perhaps less." In orbit around Jupiter, the UESF ships Defiance, Indomitable, and Sovereign prepared for their most dangerous mission yet. Commander Alex Hayes addressed the crews via hologram. "Operation Deep Strike takes us into the heart of Council space," Alex explained. "While they prepare to attack Earth, we'll hit their key supply bases and communication hubs. If we succeed, we'll cripple their ability to coordinate the invasion fleet." Lieutenant Sam Kelly, now head of Special Operations, outlined the intelligence objectives. Each ship has specific targets. The Defiance will strike their primary fleet base at Proxima Centauri. The Indomitable will target the communication hub at Bernard Star. The Sovereign will attack their main supply depot at Epsilon Eridani. The 3 Earth ships jumped into faster-than-light travel, using technology reverse-engineered from captured Council vessels. The humans had learned fast. The Council never expected an attack on their core systems. Security was focused outward, not inward. When the UESF ships appeared, the Council defenses were caught completely unprepared. Alex led the Defiance straight into the heart of the Proxima Centauri base. "All weapons, fire at designated targets," he ordered. The Earth ship unleashed its arsenal, targeting key infrastructure with surgical precision. Council ships scrambled to respond, but their rigid command structure collapsed into confusion when the base's communication center was destroyed in the first strike. Similar scenes played out at the other targets. The Indomitable disabled the EU Bernard Star communication hub, cutting off coordination between Council forces. The Sovereign destroyed supply ships and fuel depots at Epsilon Eridani, crippling the Council's ability to sustain a prolonged campaign. On the Council homeworld, Admiral Vexdor received the reports with growing alarm. Supreme Counselor, the Hab, humans have struck our core systems. They've coordinated with rebel elements on 3 worlds. Drextivar's eyes narrowed. How did they penetrate our defenses so easily? They're adaptable, Vexdor admitted. They learn our patterns and exploit them. Our forces are trained to follow protocols, but the humans constantly change tactics. Then we must end this now. Drextivar's voice became cold. Prepare the planet killer. Supreme Counselor, that weapon has been forbidden by Council law for 5,000 years. Its use requires full Council approval. Do not quote laws to me, Admiral. The survival of the Council itself is at stake. While Earth forces struck deep in Council territory, Major Jack Reynolds coordinated the defense of Earth against a retaliatory attack. Council ships targeted Earth's orbital defense platforms in a massive assault. They're trying to clear the way for their biological weapon, Jack told General Rivera as they monitored the battle from the underground command center. Our defenses are holding for now, Rivera replied, but we need more time. On the Council homeworld, the political crisis reached its peak. Overseer Masvalen confronted Drextivar in the Council chamber. You cannot use the planet killer without full Council approval. I have invoked emergency powers, Drextivar replied. The weapon launches within hours. Then you leave me no choice. Masvalen turned to the assembled Council. I call for a vote of no confidence in Supreme Counselor Drextivar. The chamber erupted in chaos. Council guards loyal to Drextivar surrounded the dissenters. In the confusion, Masvalen managed to send a secret transmission to Kernox on Earth, warning of the imminent launch of the planet killer. Dr. Martinez received the message with horror. We need to warn Commander Hayes. The Deep Strike Fleet is our only hope of intercepting that weapon. The engineer Paul Winters studied the transmitted specifications of the planet killer with growing excitement. There's a vulnerability, he announced. The dispersal system has a critical flaw in its shielding. A precisely targeted strike could disable it. Earth forces raced to respond to the new threat. Sam Kelly's intelligence team worked frantically to locate the planet killer. After hours of scanning, they found it. A massive vessel moving slowly through the Kuiper Belt toward Earth. The Defiance is closest, General Rivera said. But they've taken damage from the Deep Strike mission. We have no choice, Olivia replied. They're our only hope. Commander Alex Hayes received the transmission while the Defiance conducted emergency repairs. Understood. We're changing course to intercept. His executive officer looked concerned. Sir, our shields are at 30%, and we've lost half our weapon systems. I know, Alex replied grimly. But if that thing reaches Earth, nothing else matters. Damaged Defiance raced to intercept the planet killer. As they approached, they saw the true scale of the weapon. A massive construct nearly 10 kilometers long protected by a small fleet of Council warships. We can't take on that escort fleet in our condition, the tactical officer warned. Alex studied the scans. We don't need to. We just need one clear shot at the dispersal system. Lieutenant Kelly, prepare a boarding team. If we can't destroy it from outside, we'll do it from within. As the Defiance approached, Council ships moved to intercept. The Earth vessel took heavy fire, systems failing across the ship. Shields critical, hull breaches on decks 5 through 9, reported the damage control officer. Stay on course, Alex ordered. Get us close enough for the boarding team to launch. Sam Kelly and his team prepared in the shuttle bay. Each soldier knew this might be a one-way mission. Target in range, the tactical officer announced. Launch boarding shuttle, Alex commanded. As the shuttle raced toward the planet killer, the Defiance engaged the escort vessels, drawing their fire. The damaged Earthship shuddered under repeated hits. Engineering reports drive core destabilizing, the executive officer reported. "We can't take much more of this." Alex watched as the small shuttle carrying Sam's team reached the planet killer. They made it. Now it's up to them. Sam's team cut their way into the massive weapon, fighting through Council security forces. Following Winter's instructions, they located the central control room. "Plant the charges here," Sam ordered, pointing to the dispersal system controls. "Set timers for 10 minutes. As his team worked, Sam accessed the weapon's communication system. Kelly to Defiance. Charges set. Beginning extraction. But on the Defiance, conditions were desperate. The ship was breaking apart under Council fire. "We can't maintain position," the executive officer told Alex. "Drive core reaching critical levels." Alex made the hardest decision of his life. "All hands abandon ship. Repeat, all hands abandon ship." As escape pods launched from the dying vessel, Alex stayed on the bridge, maneuvering to keep Council ships away from the planet killer until Sam's team could complete their mission. "Sir, you need to evacuate," the executive officer insisted. "Get to your pod," Alex replied calmly. "I'll hold them off as long as I can." The Defiance, once the pride of Earth's fleet, surged forward on its final mission. Commander Hayes set a collision course with the largest Council escort vessel. The Defiance slammed into the Council escort vessel in a blinding flash of light. The explosion created a gap in the defensive screen around the planet killer. Inside the massive weapon, Sam Kelly felt the impact reverberate through the hull. "That's our cue. Move out now," he ordered his team. They raced through the corridors toward their extraction point, pursued by Council security forces. As they reached their shuttle, Sam paused to check the timer on the explosives. 7 minutes remaining. He activated his communicator one last time. Commander Hayes were clear, heading home. Only static answered. Then a voice broke through, the executive officer of the Defiance. "Lieutenant Kelly, the commander. He stayed behind. The Defiance is gone." Sam closed his eyes briefly. "Understood. We won't waste his sacrifice." The shuttle launched from the planet killer just as Council ships began to regroup. For several tense minutes they dodged enemy fire as they fled toward Earth. Then behind them, a series of explosions ripped through the massive weapon. The planet killer's main reactor went critical, creating a blast visible across the solar system. On Earth, people watched the distant flash in the night sky. In the command center, Dr. Olivia Martinez and the others held their breath until Sam's message came through. "Mission accomplished. The planet killer is destroyed." Cheers erupted across the command center, but Olivia noticed General Rivera's solemn expression. "What is it?" "The Defiance didn't make it. Commander Hayes sacrificed himself to ensure the mission succeeded." The news spread quickly. Earth had won a critical victory, but the cost had been high. Alex Hayes joined the growing list of heroes who had given their lives in the fight against the Council. On the Council homeworld, the destruction of the planet killer caused political chaos. Supreme Counselor Drextivar's illegal use of the forbidden weapon had backfired spectacularly. "You have violated our most sacred laws," Overseer Masvalen declared in the packed Council chamber. "And you have failed. The humans destroyed your planet killer and continue to inspire rebellion across our territories." "Arrest him!" shouted a Council member from a species that had long been marginalized. Others joined the call. Council guards, seeing the shift in power, surrounded Drextivar. "This is not over," the Supreme Counselor snarled as he was led away. "The Council has stood for 10,000 years. It cannot fall to primitives, but fall it did. Not in a single dramatic moment, but in a series of reforms and rebellions that transformed the galactic power structure forever." 3 months after the destruction of the planet killer, Dr. Olivia Martinez stood before the newly formed Galactic Assembly on the neutral world of Proxima Centauri 4. Representatives from 27 species, including many former Council members, listened as she addressed them. "The old Council ruled through force and fear," Olivia said. "They classified species as primitive or advanced, based on rigid criteria that served only to justify exploitation. Humanity rejects this model. We propose a new galactic order based on cooperation, and mutual respect. Overseer Masvalen, now leading the Reformed Council, nodded in agreement. The humans have taught us a valuable lesson. Our technological advancement meant nothing when faced with their adaptability and determination. We were stagnant. They were dynamic. In the end, it was not technology that determined the victor, but spirit. The new Galactic Charter, drafted jointly by humans and representatives from formerly subjugated worlds, established principles of non-interference and mutual defense. Earth was recognized as a full member world, its classification permanently upgraded. As Earth rebuilt its space infrastructure, the lessons of the conflict shaped its approach to galactic affairs. Lieutenant Sam Kelly, promoted to commander, led a new joint intelligence division that united former enemies in a common defense network. Engineer Paul Winters headed an initiative to share technology among former subjugated species, creating new advances that benefited all. The Council hoarded knowledge, Muddy explained to a group of alien engineers. We believe in sharing it. 1 year after the defeat of the Planet Killer, the UESF launched a new flagship named Cooperation. Unlike its predecessor, the ship featured a mixed crew of humans and aliens. Kernox served as the science officer, a symbol of the new alliances that had formed. At the launching ceremony, a memorial was unveiled honoring Commander Alex Hayes and all who had fallen in the conflict. Dr. Martinez ran her fingers over his name, engraved in simple letters. He would be proud of what we've built, said Sam Kelly, standing beside her in his new commander's uniform. Not just Alex, Olivia replied. All of them. They fought not just for Earth's freedom, but for a better galaxy. Major Jack Reynolds, now General Reynolds, joined them. Still hard to believe how much has changed in a year. We went from facing extinction to helping reshape galactic civilization. The Council never expected us to fight back, Sam said. That was their first mistake. And assuming that technological superiority guaranteed victory was their second, added Paul Winters, who had joined the group. They never understood that humans are at their most creative when backed into a corner. As the ceremony concluded, news arrived from the former Council homeworld. The trial of Drexitiver and his supporters had ended. They were sentenced to exile in a remote system, stripped of their advanced technology. Some saw the sentence as too lenient, but Olivia had argued for mercy. If we execute them, we become what we fought against, she had told the Galactic Assembly. Justice, not vengeance, must be our foundation. Reports from across the galaxy indicated that a few hardline Council factions had retreated to distant systems, possibly planning revenge. But such threats seemed remote compared to the progress being made. The Cooperation departed Earth on its maiden voyage, carrying representatives to newly liberated worlds. As the ship accelerated into the darkness, its mixed crew worked together, with an efficiency the old Council would have found impossible to imagine. On the bridge, Sam Kelly gave the order to engage faster-than-light travel. As the stars blurred into streaks of light, he thought about how far they had come. The aliens hadn't expected humans to fight back against the Galactic Council. They certainly hadn't expected humans to win. But most of all, they hadn't expected humans to create something better from the ashes of conflict. The stars were no longer a source of fear and danger, but of opportunity and hope. Humanity had not just survived its trial by fire, it had transformed the galaxy in the process. As the Cooperation vanished into the depths of space, carrying the promise of cooperation to distant worlds, one thing was certain: the galaxy would never be the same again.